for how long?
I grew up in Providence, but my mother, we had a house in Uncasville. So I basically, since I was 7, 8 years old, then I moved to Florida and I came back in 1981 to Norwich. And then I started the martial arts in this area in 1981.
So 1981, that would make you approximately 86 years old.
I'll be 75 in October.
Listen, you look great, by the
Thanks.
way. You're
Thanks.
physically, so you've been around Connecticut, but Rhode Island, you said Providence originally.
Yeah, I grew up in Providence originally. Yeah.
What was it like then?
Uh,
Can you, is the statute of limitations up?
Yeah, 7 years, I think. Yeah, I think
Okay,
I
good.
think we're good. I think we're good. No, Providence. I mean, my grandmother and grandfather came over from Sicily. I'm half Italian, half Irish,
Hmm.
but I claim more Italian than Irish.
Hmm.
Um, we grew up on Federal Hill. My grandfather was a carpenter. My mother worked 2 jobs, and I went to school there before they threw me out of every school I went to. I just had a problem. I mean, I loved everybody, but I was just thick-headed, I guess.
So you grew up kind of like street minded, kind of
Yeah,
that was your
yeah,
kind of
yeah. We
life.
grew up on we grew up on the streets, absolutely.
Yeah.
But it was a great time. I mean, Providence, Rhode Island, when I was a kid, was absolutely the bomb. It was absolutely wonderful, beautiful. Everybody got along. Everybody knew everything. The story of when the street lights came on, everybody knew who was supposed to be home. That's all true, and everybody took care of everybody. Things change. Things change everywhere, but that's still my, first home.
So Providence, Rhode Island, you grow up. You're somewhat of a, would you call yourself a scrappy guy back then?
No, I had a problem growing up. I took care of everybody. For some reason, I remember being 9, 10 years old, taking care of everybody in the group, make sure nobody hurt anybody. I had a little gang. This nobody knows this, but I swear on the stack of little children, this is true. I had a little gang when I was like 10
We don't want to
years old.
stack children here. That's a weird thing. I just want to X that from the record. But go ahead.
I literally had a little gang when I was
Yeah.
10 years old. That we all hung together. It was great, but everybody took care of everybody.
Hmm. Like a greaser. You were a greaser.
Probably I
Yeah.
had hair then. Yeah.
Yeah. So you'd be like a great. I could see it. Just you're out there and you did smokes rolled up in your sleeve, and you weren't letting anybody pick on any.
No, I was.
That's the point. Really, the
Yes,
point is, I know you, and you don't like anyone to be picked on. I know that about you.
correct. Very true.
Is
Very
that
true.
did you have that experience? As you know, we're talking to Peter Rogers, guys. Peter Rogers, famed again, legendary trainer here and fighter himself. His son, the fastest. We'll talk about him later on. Fastest knockout with a kick at an MMA fight over there at Mohegan Sun. We'll talk about that. But you're in Providence and you're still not in the ring yet. How did you evolve from the street kind of? You were a street manager, and then you went into the ring. How did that happen?
My mother wanted to keep me out of trouble,
Okay.
and the only way she could do that, because you're a kid, you're around, a ton of kids, and everybody. We stayed when the lights came, or when the street lights came on. We went home.
Hmm.
We were on the streets all the time. We played this. I was never any good at baseball. I was never any good at basketball.
Yep.
The only thing I was good at was actually teaching people and doing martial arts. I started when I was 12 years old.
Right.
I started when I was 12 years old. My mother got me involved. I was lucky. I got my black belt at 14 years old, which was uncanny at that time because that wasn't even logical. But I was fighting men at tournaments being 14 years old.
You're like the Mike Tyson of the MMA sport world.
There's a lot of people
No,
like
I'm
me.
saying you're a young guy and you're
Yeah.
up there. You said going against grown men at the time.
Oh, absolutely.
Did you ever fight grown men on the street at that time at your young age?
How many years ago? No, listen, I've always tried to get along with everybody.
But you've been in a few scraps. Let's be honest.
There's been a couple. So the truth of the matter is very simple. You have the sport, you have the street, but the sport and the martial arts, if you do it right, is a good lifestyle. It keeps people out of trouble. Anything that keeps people out of trouble, kids, is a great thing. Whether it's basketball, baseball, what. But for the martial arts, that's what worked for me.
Did you ever see martial arts growing to this level or where we are now? Because it's dominated. I would say one of the biggest reputations in sports is like mixed martial arts today.
Yeah. Well, what happened was years ago, and I'm talking when I was a kid. You had what we call karate tournaments, which is karate, being the basic element of forms and weapons and sparring. And we grew up when we did sparring, we wore no gloves, we wore no feet gear. We were lucky if we had a mouthpiece and a cup. Everything was very hardcore. That's how I grew up. We fought in tournaments where when you punched somebody and you got cracked or somebody bled, they, okay, that's a point. You know, when you swept them and dumped on their head and stepped on their body and punched them, that's a point. Then the karate field, as the years went on, got a little softer. Then everything became so much point and so much this, and then you had to wear headgear and feet gear, and everybody was like, it was a game of tag. So we did it all. I did all that. We trained a team. I had a team for the Mohegan Sun for 5 years. We had like 35 people that we competed all across the country, and that was a point team and everything because that's where the market was. That's
Hmm.
where people were doing. But my forte was always the hardcore full contact. That was me. Uh, that's what I did. That's what I
And you're still doing it today. You're
still
still
doing it
this is
today.
this
Yeah.
is and so how many years totally in the game?
Well, let's see. Do we have a count? Do we have a calculator here? I started at 12.
Use your toes, use your
I'm gonna be
hands.
75. I've done it what 50, 60 years. Yeah.
50 or 60 years, and you've been doing it at a level where you have to have broken some bones.
Believe it or not, I never.
Let's not ask that question then. Never
No,
skip that. I don't
no,
want
no.
to.
Listen, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
I never broke my hand. I never broke. I've dislocated my shoulder. I've dislocated my
Okay.
knee, but I've never broken a bone. And I had a bone break in my knee that
Hmm.
they had to take out, but that was just a freak thing. But
Hmm.
I've never broken anything doing the martial arts. As crazy as that sounds.
That sounds a little kooky to
It sounds
me.
weird.
It
Yeah.
does.
It sounds almost not true, but it's
Yeah,
true.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I believe. Well, obviously, I know you, and you know you tell the truth. But it's interesting after that long of a career and training because you're physically involved when you're training, and we want to talk about that in a little bit. Just thinking on this thought, did you ever see this mixed martial arts world where it's a prime time events where boxing used to dominate? Did you ever see it in your past, your younger years, evolving to that?
No. Years ago, everything happens in cycles. That's what I believe. Like in other words, like we had Japanese karate, which is what I did in Japanese jiu-jitsu, and then then the Koreans, a lot of the Korean styles came in the 70s, and they put taekwondo. There was a black belt taekwondo instructor almost in every school in the United States. So then taekwondo and tang sudo and all the Korean systems got good. Then it changes again. It always changes. Now we're going into then jujitsu came in, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, which is a combination of kind of the wrestling but a joint work and a little bit different. Then MMA came in and they marketed that, and basically mixed martial arts means everything. It's a mixture of hand, foot, boxing, kicking, wrestling, choking, grabbing, everything. So that's what MMA actually is. People think
Does anyone own that term, MMA? Does anyone trademark that?
I don't think so.
So why aren't we doing that right now, Peter?
I don't know. We'll have to work on that.
All right. We have an investor out there listening, 860-889-5252. We'll take that call. We're going to probably go to a break soon. And when we come back, we'll be talking with Peter Rogers. Peter Rogers Sr. is a local, as we've just been introduced, MMA superior athlete. He's going to talk in the next segment. We'll talk a little bit about his actions in the rings, and then we'll get around to your training and all that stuff. Coming right back on WICH 1310. This is Kevin Allen on the One Table Radio Show.
Hi everyone, Joyce Hart here from Hart's Greenhouse. Summer is here and that means it's time for Hart's Customer Appreciation Sale. Great deal on Hart's hanging baskets, potted annuals, including proven winners, herbs, and veggies. Stock up and fill those empty flower beds and decorate your porch or patio with some gorgeous summer color. These beauties bloom all summer long with a little care. And remember to fertilize your plants and keep them watered as the days get warmer. Hart's has all of your plant care needs. And on July 1st, our annual Garden Partners sale starts. It's time to redeem those loyalty points you've been earning. For the entire month of July, you can use your points on just about anything. You could even get that statue you've been eyeing all spring. Use your points like dollars towards half your purchase. Hearts is located on Route 6 in Brooklyn, Clinton Avenue, Norwich, and Route 2A in Preston. Just look for the big pink bubblegum hanging baskets. We're open 7 days a week. Check us out on our website, heartsgreenhouse.com, and on Facebook.
Hi, this is Michelle, the owner of Everly After Floral in Baltic. We are a full-service floral and gift shop with over 25 years experience in the industry. We specialize in weddings and events. Call today to order your flowers for graduations and dance recitals. We deliver to all local schools, hospitals, businesses, and homes. You can find us at 26 Bushnell Hollow Road in the Stockhouse Building in Baltic. Everly After Floral, look for us on Facebook and Instagram.
Hi, I'm Everly from Everly After Floral. You won't find any cookie cutter arrangements here. I'm the big boss.
Coming right back here now, right here, WICH 1310. This is Kevin Allen, your host, and on the board today, he's mixing it. That's Sir Mix-a-Lot over there. We have him, Tyler. Give Tyler a hand, guys. He's out there. He's learning a new craft. This guy loves to learn. He's a lifelong learner, I think. Hey, the Rose Arts Festival, speaking of some fun stories we're going to be talking about in a moment with our guest, Peter Rogers, we got to do this announcement. The Rose Arts Festival in Norwich is, well, it started Thursday, so we missed that day. But Friday and Saturday, guys, you have events going on right there. The music at tonight starts at 6 p.m. downtown after dark. And of course, there will be all kinds of, different food trucks and different, all fun for the family. This is a family fun event. This is not the old Rose Arts Beer Fest that we might remember. We'll get into those stories with our guest in a moment. But go and check out the Rose Arts Festival right now going on in the city, the Rose City of Norwich, Connecticut. We were just talking with Peter a little bit in between the break, and we're going to get into the story about, MMA and fighting, but you sent us into a different direction. And so we talked about, he said I asked him about bodyguarding, security. And he said, I've been doing this. And he just slides in like it's slick. Grace Jones.
Yep.
The famous singer.
Uh-huh.
She was like a rock singer.
Uh-huh.
Hardcore, beautiful woman in voice. And she was also in Conan the Barbarian.
Conan the Destroyer, Conan, whatever it was. Yeah.
You knew her.
Oh, yeah.
Talk about this.
Really?
This is breaking news.
When I lived in Fort Lauderdale, which I lived for many, many years, which actually was, to me, the best time of my life at certain times. Look, I'm even wearing a shirt, Fort Lauderdale. See, I did that on purpose. So we were doing security for different people, and I got hired to work special events on the beach. And one of the deals was, they said, we have this lady coming in and she's really famous and blah, 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 blah. Do you want to do it? I said, yeah, sure. What do we care? So I picked my team, and we had a special team, and basically we turn around and, all of a sudden, the next day they call us up. They said, yeah, she's coming in for 3 days and 2 days or whatever, and she wants you. And I said, she wants who? She said, she wants you. I said, okay, well, we have a team. Yeah, but she wants you. I said, okay, whatever. Wonderful. What's the pay? What are we doing? What are we doing? Whatever. So
you didn't know who this was at this time?
Not really. So she comes in and we all sit down and have dinner at this restaurant, and she was cool as hell. I mean, like, her shoulders were this big. I mean,
wicked good shape.
Yeah, really good shape. And like,
what was she? I don't even know much about her. Was she American? Was she from out?
No, she was from, I'm trying to think what country she was from. But you want to talk about funny and sweet, and like in the movies, you would never think that she was the way she was an absolute, we had a ball. So anyway, we have dinner, the whole 9 yards, and then she's going to perform at these places. So our job was to take care of all her band members and her, and keep the people, from being the way people are when famous people come in. Yeah. So we spent a day or two doing this and doing that. And then on one of her gigs, and I'll never forget this, we're down under this bar in Fort Lauderdale, and they had a swimming pool. And the swimming pool was where Annette Funicello and Frankie Avalon did a movie where the boys are.
Mm.
It was a glass pool, and the bar is here, and you can see everybody swimming. So, make a long story short, her entrance was she would come in on a motorcycle into the bar, and she would, put the kickstand down and then get up and sing. That didn't work out well. As she come through the bar, she lost balance and she bounced off the bar. And just as we were like 4 or 5 feet from her, the bike half falls on her. I grabbed the bike. Billy Stetz, who actually could have been Hulk Hogan's brother, he looks just like him, turns around. We both grab the bike off her. She gets up with the biggest smile and starts singing like nothing ever happened, and the place went completely out of their minds.
What a memory, huh?
It was crazy, yeah.
Wow.
So she did the thing, and then they did a bunch, 3 hour thing, the whole bit,
Yeah.
and then she was there for a day or two, and then finally she says to me, she goes, "I'll tell you what," she goes, "I think you should travel with me. You should travel with us." And I said, "I really can't. I get this going, that going." No, she goes, "Whatever, we'll figure it out. We'll make it work. Whatever. We'll go around the world. Whatever." I go, "Why?" She says, "Because my guys really like you." She goes, "And I can trust you, and that's what I want. That's what I think we should do." And I didn't do it.
You
Hindsight.
gave it up.
I gave it up. Hindsight. There's a lot of things we gave up in life. Hindsight being 2020, I should have did it. But no, she was absolutely cool.
Did you ever see her again after
No,
that?
I never did.
Never.
I never did.
So you had the chance.
Yeah, it was.
You got asked to dance and you gave up the dance. What was what gave you the energy not to go? I mean, obviously life, right? Just
I had this going on. I had my karate school. I had this. I had that. Everything was fine. I was happy. I mean, it wasn't a money issue. I was making money, and it wasn't all about money. It was like, okay, yeah,
was money a motivator to you in life?
Never.
Money?
No.
I mean,
you have to make money. You have to pay the bills. But I can be happy broke. I can be happy rich. There's people that have all the money in the world and they die lonely. You can get sick. It's another thing we'll talk about maybe later. You can get sick. Your health is worth more than anything. And the people around you that love you are worth more than anything. I don't care, whatever, because money doesn't bring happiness. It can buy you a new car. It can buy you a boat. It can do that. I had all that. That's not a big deal. That's my opinion.
Did you come to grips with this at some point in your life? It seems like was this always you, or did this kind of like
people don't know me, Kev? They really don't.
Well, we got a chance. Let's tell them.
No, they don't really. Like everybody thinks like I'm this hot ass and I train fighters and I'm da-da-da. I'm probably one of the most compassionate people.
We are on a licensed radio station just for an announcement about swears possibly coming out of Peter's mouth.
No.
John, do not spit your teeth out up there. Okay.
No. Did I swear? I didn't swear. No, but seriously, like I don't know. I like people. I'm good to people. I want people to be good to other people.
That's all I've ever known about you.
I mean,
I've never
literally. I open doors for people when they don't say thank you. I do say you're welcome. I probably shouldn't say that, but it's just that. But I'll do anything for anybody. But
that's what I've known about you from day one that I've even had the chance to know you. But you were a legend, and like I said, you had the one place, the boxing place over in where the Panema Mills facility was. You used to go in there and work out in the gym you had in there, back in the day, and always dreamt about getting in that ring someday. But I've just, I'm not as tough as somebody like yourself, so I couldn't do that.
You don't have to be tough.
No, I know that. I had little hands. I was like Rocky Marciano.
Half the girls I've trained in my life.
Wait a minute. Wait. Let's cover this. Are you saying that I'm a girl?
No.
This is the second time because Tyler's over here laughing. You want to know why?
Why, Tyler? Why?
He basically gave me a comment today that said I was a feminine man.
No,
he said this.
No, he didn't.
He did say what? Tyler, did you say I was a feminine man? Did you, Tyler? Tyler, I want to know.
I did not. Oh.
I can't hear you, buddy. Yeah. What?
No, man. I did not. You said that you are friendly with gay men, and I said maybe it's because you seem like a gay man.
That's exactly what he said. So I did clean it up for the airways, but Tyler did say that I was talking about a lot of my business relationship in my life. I like to do business with people of all, whatever. Life is that way. That's the bowl of, we're all just here doing it together. And so I find that most of the business people that I've dealt with that I have the most fun with are the people that are in that lifestyle.
Do you know, aren't you going to ask me who else we bodyguarded?
Well, of course I was going to get there, but this whole thing with, I don't know where we went.
The small hand?
Yeah. Tyler, push your button off. You're done talking again. And so back to you, your bodyguarding career, not just Grace Jones. You had other people. So who else?
Men at Work.
just a little band from Australia.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Men at Work. The Village People.
Okay, that's a little bit too late to Tyler's comment. That would have been perfect.
Professor Aaron Corey. Different executives off. Yeah, I could go on and on and
Do you
on
get
and on.
called still to this day for stuff?
Not as much. No, I'm in the wrong area now.
Did you ever?
New England's a little different. Yes.
Did you ever bodyguard Buddy Sancy?
No.
Did you know Buddy
Yes.
personally?
Yes.
Would he walked in a room, he would have known you,
Yes.
and you would have known him.
Obviously.
We're gonna circle you back when we do the Godfather episode. We'll have
Yeah.
you come back in for that. You bodyguard out of all those bodyguarding positions and people and different events. What's some of the most memorable events that Peter's had?
Charlie Cluen from C.R. Cluen, who built Foxwoods and who built, I guess, a percentage of Bradley Airport. Charlie Cluen, I met him. He called me on the phone out of the blue one day and he wanted to take lessons with me. And one thing led to another, and I was really busy. I had like a ton of people. I said, well, and the girl that was working for me said, he'll take a message, whatever, and he called back. He says, I really want to talk to him, blah, blah, blah. And one thing led to another. And I answered the phone. He goes, Mr. Rogers, hi, my name is Charlie Cluen. I went, hi. I had no idea who he was. He goes, yeah, I'm building Foxwoods. I said, okay, yeah, that's great. Good, that's great. He goes, I need to talk to you. I want to take private lessons from you. Money's not an object. I said, well, yeah, okay, but I'm kind of busy. He goes, yeah, but I'm Charlie Cluen. I went, okay, and I'm the Pope. I go, what does that have to do with anything? Because I didn't know.
Yeah.
Him and I, from that day on, or 2 days later, became the best friends in the world. Right now, if I called Charlie up and I said, I'm stuck in England, I need a plane, he would pick up the phone and get me a flight. Charlie Cluen is the nicest, most original person in the world.
I love it.
And he and I have been friends forever. I trained his kids. Yeah, I mean, Charlie was,
And he's not a celebrity. He's a well-known, successful businessman,
Yes,
but
yes.
he's your most memorable relationship.
He is a sweetheart.
Okay.
He really is, and he's one of many. I mean, I worked at Mohegan. I trained people at Mohegan for over 20 years, all the employees, and the tribe and we've been great forever. But yeah, we could go on and on, but that's okay.
Your whole life is centered around defense, the industry of defense, right? I mean, from personal training to your own training.
Yep.
And you've seen this evolution. And so, what is I want to ask you this about children, because you've trained. How many kids have you trained?
Millions, not millions, but thousands.
Thousands, right? Thousands of kids, and thousands. And say a multiplier. You got that times 3 in a family, whatever.
Mhm.
You've touched probably tens of thousands of families.
Yes.
People.
Yes. I was fortunate. Again, we'll go back to Providence. Providence is a tough city. Rhode Island's a tough place.
Mm-hmm.
I inherited so many kids from their fathers and mothers and aunts and uncles and grandfathers that they didn't want them to turn out like them.
Mm-hmm.
They were very worried about. They were worried about them turning out bad.
Mm-hmm.
So they gave them to me.
Mm.
And yeah, I mean, like.
So did you always have that influence of taking care of younger people? That was always you were that kind of like older brother kind of guy?
To a point.
Yeah.
To a point. Kids are what it's all about. I don't know what's going to go on with the future, with the world, with the kids, because things are changing every day. I just pray that all parents and everybody loves and takes care of their own, because it's tough.
I agree with you.
So from our point of view, from my son and our point of view, kids are where it's at. A good parent will always take care of the child.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
That's
When
it.
they get older and they go, whatever happens after that, that's on them.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah. And getting back to the small hands and the women, what I was gonna say.
You're not going to let me forget it, huh?
What I was gonna say
Thanks,
is that girls,
Yep.
when you train girls or whatever,
Yep.
they're hard workers.
Yep.
I hate to say that they learn faster than men, but they
Yeah.
do to a point when they're little, and yeah.
You probably, and I want to talk a little bit later on as we get ready. How far away from the break are we, Tyler?
5 minutes.
5 minutes?
Or we can take it.
Actually, if we might want to go into about 3 minutes, 2 minutes out, so we'll get Angela in and we'll get the chamber update. You'll stay with us, Peter, of course. But staying on this, children, your inspiration for working with the kids, right? Helping them mature into those young adults that you you've helped shape in so many thousands, as you said, thousands of kids.
Yeah.
Do you have some kids that come to mind right away that maybe you've seen through the craft, not just, I mean, but took the craft to the next level?
Yeah, I mean, I've trained so many people, and I have students that have still with me for 45 or 46 years in Norwich, Connecticut, that have trained with me since the beginning. I
Mhm.
still have them. I have students that when we do the shows in Rhode Island that come out of the woodwork from when I was 16, 17 years old. Of course, some of them are, but yeah, I mean, it's a wonderful thing. It's good for a good martial arts school, no matter who it is, where it is the best thing to work for kids or any sport that gives them discipline and not just let them do their own thing. And we get all the kids because the parents want discipline. They want them to listen and behave and work hard and whatever. And we have a good crew. I mean, we have a great crew. My son does a great job.
I've been up to the facility and did some filming with you, of
Yeah.
course, and a while back, and saw the whole situation. Really amazing. So, if anyone's out there, you want to do a quick call, we got about a minute and a half or 2 minutes left here. If you want to call in 860-889-5252, this is WICH 1310, One Table Radio, and we do this each week between 12 and 2. Peter Rogers, the MMA legend here, is telling us his story, his life story, Providence, from the mean streets of Providence with Buddy Cianci. I think we're going to get more to that story later. There's more behind the wig in that one back in a moment. But we're also talking about your influence. I think really the greatest impact of anyone, right, is when we're gone and we're all going to go,
Yep.
is what kind of people will say. And I think people constantly say about Peter Rogers is, I hear it from everyone I talk to, he's one of the nicest men they ever met. And I hear that from everybody, Peter. I
thank
mean,
you.
don't thank me. I mean, I say nasty things and I'm trying to be really a jerk about you.
Yep.
And they say, no, he's a nice guy. And I say, no, he's a real, no, I don't say that, but you're well respected. And I think you've impacted, like I said, thousands. And this is why it's such an important thing. We're highlighting you. You're like a local Rose, city, Rose City kind of celebrity who I don't think people know all that much about you, And so let's share the rest of that story. How are we going to be able to, when we come back after the chamber event,
Okay.
I want to get into your training, your son and you, because that story in itself, and then your health. Because guys, if you're listening and you're watching, this on one of the social media platforms, whatever, Peter battled back from a very serious health condition, and we'll talk more in detail about it later. But just a few comments before we go to the break.
Yeah, I mean, I have a good doctor, and he keeps telling me how healthy I am and everything. Then one day he says to me, we got to do a blood test, and we did a blood test, and come to find out that I had cancer, and yeah, and then the rest is history. We'll talk about that.
And you're and I know personally, we talked over the years. This battle, it took its toll, but it also you're here right now. We're going to share that story about the power of believing in yourself.
That's
and
true.
more. And so we'll be back in a few moments right here on WICH 1310.
Fourth of July is almost here. Johnson's Hardware Rental and Repair has a great selection of grills from Weber and Broil King in stock. Whether you're looking for propane, charcoal, or need a smoker, Johnson's has you covered. Get a free 20-pound propane fill, assembly, and delivery with your purchase of a grill over $300 at Johnson's Hardware. They'll even take your old grill away. Johnson's carries a wide selection of grilling accessories at great prices. You'll never know what you'll go home with. From pizza stones to sauces and rubs, Johnson's Hardware has what you need. Be ready for the summer heat. Check out Johnson's large assortment of fans. From box fans to window fans, you'll find the right one at a great price to suit your needs. They also have low prices on 5,000 BTU window air conditioners. Don't see the style you need? Johnson's can order one for you. Visit Johnson's Hardware Rental and Repair at 40 Fort Hill Road in Groton, or visit them online at johnsonsrental.com. If you don't start there, you'll end there.
Can't find what you want new? Buy vintage. Chances are, whatever you need is at Patchogue Picker. Patchogue Picker in Griswold is a paradise for lovers of all things vintage, antique, retro, and rusty. So if you need something, tools, housewares, furniture, you name it, browse the thousands upon thousands of items at Patchogue Picker, inside and out. Vintage finds make great gifts too. Come discover all the cool junk at Patchogue Picker. It's a treasure hunter's paradise with new items added every week. Check out Patchogue Picker on Facebook and Route 138 in Griswold.
A one-of-a-kind exhibition exploring Connecticut's textile history, from historic velvet mills to today's fashion designers. See stunning beadwork, quilts, embroidery, velvet fashions, and designs by Christian Siriano, Peter Somm, Zaria Lockhart, and Toriana Sorrow. On view June 26th through October 11th. Come experience the stories stitched into every thread. Learn more at mysticmuseumofart.org.
If your business isn't getting noticed, Procop Sign Company can change that. Family owned since 1964, Procop has over 60 years of experience helping local businesses stand out. From eye-catching signs and banners to trade show displays and branded tents, they do it all. Want advertising that never stops? Their custom vehicle lettering and wraps turn your ride into a mobile billboard. Plus, Procop offers promotional products and printed materials like business cards, brochures, and more to keep your brand looking sharp. Check them out at procopsigns.com.
You bought that $15 mirror at one of those box stores. It makes you look tall and thin one day, and the next, well, you know, it's not you. It's your mirror. Should have gone to Mystic Glass. Their mirrors won't make you feel like you're in the funhouse. For broken replacement windows, glass doors, even that crack in your storefront. Yeah, Mystic Glass can do that too. So visit them on Edgemont Street in Mystic. Mystic Glass. For all of life's little or big pains. Window panes. See what I did there?
Cable radio, we do have our usual suspects. Well, suspect, and that's Angela Adams with that's chamber chatter. And of course, we did get a call for Peter Rogers, and this is important on a community radio station that we go right to the callers. Peter, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay, bring the caller in. Who do we have on the line? Hi, who's hi? Who is this?
Jim from Norwich.
All right, Tyler, toggle down the intro. Yep. Go ahead, Jim. How are you doing?
I was wondering if you ever heard of my two nephews,
Well, let's hear those names. Peter, let's listen up.
TJ and Daryl Mackerel.
Absolutely.
Two very famous wrestlers and MMA. Yeah.
Local names.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, Daryl trained with me a long time ago, as a matter of fact. He was always a great wrestler, and then he trained with me for a few years, and I turned him into being a WKA kickboxing champion. I don't know if you remember that or not.
Oh, yeah, I'm his uncle.
Yeah.
And TJ, he loves children.
Yeah,
He's
Good.
into the Greco situation.
Yep.
Wrestling.
Yep. Actually, they all were great wrestlers. Like I said, Daryl came to me one day. He said he wanted to do something different. So I started training him to be a kickboxer when I was downtown Norwich. And we got a couple of calls, and I put a few guys in the show. And actually, I put 3 guys in the show, and all 3 of them won. And then we kept going on and on. Yeah, and Daryl became a WKA champion under me.
And C.R. Clowen was a very good friend of their father's. He actually landed a helicopter in the backyard to pick up Daryl or TJ.
That's cool.
That is very cool
That's
story.
cool, huh?
That's
Yeah,
cool.
that's cool. Yeah,
Very cool.
yeah.
Hey.
Good memories.
That is good memories right there. Thank you. You're gonna go to the Rose Arts? You're gonna step out to the Rose Arts? Good. And let us know. Call us back next week. Let us know your experience. Okay.
Okay, buddy. Have a good one.
Thank you
Okay.
too. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
the call.
Thank you so much.
There you go, Peter. Hey, memory lane. And you have managed other fighters. We'll get to that in a moment. But I want to, what a great call and local conversation. Talking about local conversation. Angela Adams with the chamber chatter. Angela does chatter. She's a chatterer.
I am.
And so she's actually, give her some credit. She flew in from her vacation in the Swiss Alps. She came back just for this one table because she knows the contract's serious now.
Yeah, or Ross Campground in
Yeah,
Griswold. But
either or, doesn't matter. It's the same
I
thing.
just want to give a shout out to Pete. So years ago, this has to be 20 years ago.
Probably.
Are you? Oh boy, was that a photo for me? So Pete, actually, when you were training Jen and a lot of them from Foxwoods, I jumped into one class. Remember that one time I jumped in?
Absolutely.
I almost died. Yeah. So I
It
thought
wasn't
it was
that bad.
It was that bad for me.
You've been through the Peter experience. You've been through the experience.
It was incredible though.
Wow.
In all honesty. So a lot of my girls, they were there under you. And they were getting fit through the boxing, through kickboxing, right?
Yep.
And you had a great program with Foxwoods and a lot of the employees there. So a couple times I jumped in. One in particular, I thought I was in shape, playing volleyball and young and all that. And then they had me running upstairs and kickboxing and doing sit-ups and all this other stuff. But it was so fun.
Thank you.
Yeah, you always are in my heart.
Thank
You and your son,
Thank you.
PJ, at the time, I think, how old is he now?
He's 36. He was probably what?
He was so little and so
6, 7,
young.
8, 9?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It was well 20 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he was probably in his early
Yeah,
teens.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we watched him grow through that. And we were always there rooting him on. So you've done an amazing job. So
Yeah.
congratulations.
Thank you. He's a good boy.
He
It's
is.
so good to see you again,
You too. You too. Richie always talks about you. We were talking about also Richie had hurt his back from Norwich Auto Parts, and he had hurt his back a little bit. But we're saying that he wants to jump right in, Richie. But we're saying we got to slow him down a little bit, build the core. Then that's what it's about. It's about
Yeah.
building your core muscles first, right?
He'll listen to me.
He will. I don't know. He's pretty.
Yeah, he'll listen to me. I'm probably one of the only ones he'll listen to be honest with you.
That is true.
Yeah, but
That is true.
I'll work him slowly.
Yeah.
He'll be all right.
And that's what I think is great too. So you can have older people, in there or somebody that's hurt themselves,
Yeah.
but you build the core up from within and then you start from there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Amazing. And I chime in, just watching the two talk.
Mhm.
This is exactly what this one table concept was about.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you have that memory. I didn't know any of this was this is so organic. It's so cool. You guys had that experience together. So
Yeah.
thank you for sharing that.
Oh, always.
We
And
have-
actually, you've had a couple guests on here as well that I know, and I love that. So this is what it's about. I have my friend Jennifer Graff here as well.
Yes.
I was talking to her. We celebrated the 60th. So she's here with two hats. So one with the floor covering shop, and then two with the Norwich Events Organization. And 3 years ago, we celebrated the 60th anniversary floor covering shop. Correct?
Wow.
So, that I think is amazing alone. And tell us a little bit about the building, though. So the building has a little bit of history, and there's train tracks literally within your shop.
Yes, it was the old trolley barn, also known as the bus barn.
Okay.
And my husband's going to be disappointed that I can't remember exactly how old the building is, but I think we're about 120 years
Oh,
old.
wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I
Um,
love the whole, I love the building. Yeah. It's so
Yeah.
cool.
It's our baby.
Yeah.
We purchased the building back in 2021.
Mhm.
My father-in-law and husband did, because we love it so much and we wanted to stay. We didn't want to leave, and
Yeah.
the previous owner was looking to sell, and
1963, the fuller
Yes.
covering. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Amazing.
Wow. So the history in the business has changed and evolved, right? And I know we can't see each other, so we can just we can throw kites back to each other if you want or whatever. But that's jail talk. But anyways, your history in the business, your family, how long in the business itself?
My father-in-law is the second owner, and he started back in 1987.
Okay. So there you go. Wow. That's and in the world of business, that's family business means everything in reputation. So you obviously have a great reputation. And Angela brought you here because she taps on many shoulders, many good people. So welcome to the One Table Radio Show. Thank you for coming in today.
Thank you for having me.
No, it's a pleasure. Angela, what do we got going on in the greater Norwich? I mean, there's so much going on.
Yeah. Well, I don't
What do
even
you
know
got?
at this moment because I'm still on campground. So, but we
Still in the Swiss
do-
Alps,
I
you are.
did. I brought Jennifer in today to talk about the Norwich Events Organization because we do have the fireworks coming up next week.
Beautiful.
So each week there's been a theme. There's been a theme about volunteers and about all the great organizations that are within our community that are creating all these terrific events for people that are free. We have the fireworks. That is not free. in theory, because there's a lot of work that goes behind it. So that's one of the things that I wanted Jen to talk about is the Norwich Events Organization. Everybody thinks that the fireworks and the Winterfest Parade and the St. Patty's Day Parade and all these events are put on by the city. The city is definitely a big support, but they don't put them on. It's a bunch of volunteers. So that's where I'm going to hand it right off to Jen to say a little bit about the Norwich Events Organization.
Yeah, we are a 501c3 nonprofit, all volunteer committee. Great group of volunteers we have.
Yeah.
100% funded by tax deductible donations from businesses, individuals. We are very fortunate to have the support of so many great Norwich and non-Norwich
Yeah.
businesses
Yeah.
supporting us with these events and, donating their time and money to make sure that they stay free and we can continue to have them.
Just got Joanne from the Chestnut just said, she gave a little thank you for all that you do for the Community Knowledge Events Organization. And I want to say, just follow that up to Joanne's comment. A lot of us don't know until what it takes to run an event, not just run events, right? How many events go on in the city? Lots.
Yes.
So you must be dedicating a lot of your personal time. And I think that's the thing where most commendable is thank you for donating your time to this and your efforts. How much time are you putting into it and how many people are working on your team to do all these events?
That's a loaded question.
I know, huh?
That is a loaded
I know. I'm a former politician. I know how to ask those questions. So.
I tend to tell people it's my second full-time job.
Yeah.
I mean, I can say that there's several of us that put in, 30, 40 hours a week doing this, whether it's, social media, fundraising, planning, permitting, all those fun things that we have to take care of. There's a lot that goes on in the background. And we are very fortunate that we have a great group that not just love volunteering together, but, we've all become friends through this too.
Mhm.
And that makes it that much more enjoyable because you get to have fun with your friends and plan these events.
There's a lot of pivoting too. So because of cost, one of them was the barge, right? The fireworks used to go off the barge and now they've go off to the side.
They go off to the side. We were fortunate that Dave Waddington, who owns the old scrapyard there, offered last year to have us use his land to set the fireworks off on. And again this year, and hopefully for as many years as he owns the property to come, because the barge just became prohibitive. In fact, it was more money to lease the barge for 2 days than it was to actually purchase the fireworks and have them produced. So,
Yeah, there's a lot of elements too that go into that.
So much,
Because of the depending on how rough the waters are and
Sure,
everything else,
yeah.
and then of course weather dependent and everything. So
We're gonna come up with a light show like they do in Disney, that's what's next, right? So, but what amazing. So this event itself, how many hours do you think total will go into it throughout the year to plan something like this?
we immediately start right after, the previous year's fireworks. So we automatically book the following year, the week after the fireworks event.
Yeah.
So this has, been planning since last 4th of July.
yeah,
And it's a lot of planning. I don't know how many hours.
Yeah, no, I
can't
get
tell
it.
you.
I mean, obviously you do
It's
so much.
hundreds and
I can
hundreds. So
imagine. Wow.
well with the parades too. So
Yeah.
it's not only that. So they have the Winterfest parade, the St. Patty's Day parade. So
Yep.
you have to put all that in there, planning on top of it. They also do the First Friday.
Yep.
Okay.
So that's been something that they're trying to kick off. We had the car show, the last
that
one.
was
So there's
fantastic. Thanks to you.
yeah, well,
And
thanks to
Richie
all of
and
us, but yeah.
Rob, all of your wonderful planning. That
Yeah,
was an
there's about
amazing
50
event.
cars on that. So that
Okay.
was fun. But again, all of it's a team effort.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Amazing.
and a lot of the downtown businesses, of course, they benefit the most, right?
Yeah.
Out of a lot of the downtown. So they make sure they invest their time as well. So
They
Paul
do.
Seifert, Billy Wilson's, he's
Awesome.
down there. Scott Capano.
Mhm.
Who else is
Rob
that?
and Jobina from Epicare.
Epicare,
They,
yep.
You know,
Uncle Earl's.
Yep. And
Becca
Uncle,
Ray.
Coming soon.
yeah. And then Becca, for these guys, they're also on it. They were downtown. Of course, it's just over the water, but we still include them. Their part is still downtown, I think.
Yeah. Justin Burrows,
Justin Burrows.
Stella.
Yeah.
You got a
Like
great
Shark Day
community,
Building.
and do you find the community outside of the business community that works alongside of you, like the nonprofits, they all come on board, and that relationship seems to be flourishing as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we all work really well together.
Well, you have the first Fridays with the art galleries. So
Right.
they're all included in that as well. The Norwich Arts Center, the Reliance Health Art Gallery.
Yep.
So
Awesome stuff. And so this event for the fireworks is next week. So you got Rose Arts this week, and then we roll right into into that event. The one thing I should mention, because we do have Peter in the room, Peter, or I should ask, have you ever been like to any of these events, or recently in the last few years, or even back in the day?
Not recently. Back in the day,
Yeah.
when I was teaching the Norwich PD,
Yeah.
when the Rosats, they hired us, we volunteered, and we did all the security for that event.
Did
When it-
you?
Yeah, when it was across from NFA. I'm talking like many
Yeah.
months ago.
That sounds wild. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But I
maybe we
haven't
should
been.
get them now.
Yeah.
We always
Yeah.
need help,
I'll
Peter.
volunteer. I'll get my guys.
There you
at
go, right here on One Table Radio. Volunteer.
Anything for you, young lady.
Aw.
Oh wow, you signed up then. You're on the deal.
Everything
All
I
right.
do. Yeah.
All right, you heard them live right here. We record it too, so live.
What else is new for the fireworks?
Yeah,
this
what's
time?
going on this time?
Is there anything new? I mean, I know you have like 8 or 10. How many food trucks do we have?
We actually have about 12 or 13, and I had a 14th contact me hoping to join in.
Mm-hmm.
We have a couple of craft jewelry and toy vendors as well. And again, I think it's the third, maybe fourth year in a row that Revelation Church is going to be doing free face painting, bubbles, and games with the kids. The Norwich
that's your
events,
nonprofit?
yep, Norwich events table will have games and kids crafts, free kids crafts. We try to make everything free for the kids and those types of activities. Several, jewelry, a couple of jewelry vendors. We're going to have some music. We kind of lacked in the music department the last couple of years, but we're going to have some music this year.
Good.
Just leading up to the festivities. It starts at 6:00.
Yep.
Fireworks go off about 9:15.
And I always say, if you want to get down early, obviously there's parking at the transportation center. There's a couple garages downtown,
Yep.
and then of course, where else? Along all the way downtown.
On our Norwich Events Organization Facebook page, there will be a map posted.
Okay.
I should be getting that final copy today.
Okay,
And
and then
the
for the-
parking garages and, where the food trucks are and the different downtown local businesses that are going to be open
Okay.
because it is also First Friday, July.
Yes,
Wow,
and so
it's
that's where we're going to try to. Well, we're going to try to promote that. So
Yeah.
we don't want to take away from there's going to be thousands and thousands and thousands of people down there for the fireworks. But we want to just remind everybody that it is First Friday. Come on down early.
Yeah.
Grab a great parking spot and then go to the restaurants down there and try to eat. There's La Stella's, Royal Punjabi, the Harp, Treviso. I don't want to forget now. Now I'm going to forget Billy Wilson's, La Stella's. What am I forgetting? Harp and Dragon, because they'll have the rooftop open.
Yeah, yeah. It's
So
gonna be an
I-
amazing night.
I kind of got
and-
myself in trouble there.
No,
'cause
no,
I was
you
gonna
didn't. You're
forget
good.
somebody. Strange Brew.
Yep, Strange Brew. You can go
And
to
then
that.
they'll have some after entertainment as well. So
Right. And there you go. After entertainment and everything. I want to thank you both for coming in. And I not to cut you short, but we're probably about down to a minute here. Of course, you're welcome to stay if you want and chat. We're going to get Peter's story, telling his story when we come back. WICH 1310. Now, listen, where can people find you to help you, support you? Give a website and all that stuff to us.
You can find us at gonorwichct.com or on Facebook, Norwich Events Organization, and our Instagram is gonorwichct.
Yep.
There
Or
it
the gnacc.org. So we're going to help to promote that. Obviously, Rose Arts this weekend. Tonight is Rose Arts After Dark. So all at downtown, all the restaurants will have all the music and stuff like that. 887-1647. Thanks.
Back in a moment.
Don't you
Personality Radio, 1310 WICH Norwich, 94.5 W233DB Norwich.
News this hour at Town Hall. I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. Venezuelan leader Delcy Rodriguez says the earthquake death toll has now surpassed 580, close to 3,000 injured, and an untold number of people are still missing. We get an update on the devastation from correspondent Charles Desmond.
In cities across northern Venezuela, neighbors help each other dig through rubble to search for loved ones after back-to-back earthquakes killed nearly 600 people and left thousands injured. Acting President Delcy Rodriguez announced the new toll early Friday, surrounded by government and military officials, as she welcomed the arrival of rescue crews from all over the world. We're going to rescue the people who are trapped, she said. We're working tirelessly on this task.
That is Charles Desmond reporting. President Trump says the U.S. is now in a better position to help Venezuela as it recovers from the pair of earthquakes said to be the worst in that country in more than 100 years.
We have the strongest military. We took over Venezuela in less than one day, and the oil is flowing, and we're getting along with them great.
SRN News and our parent company, Salem Media, are partnering with Christian nonprofit Food for the Poor to rush emergency aid to victims of the tragedy. Listeners wanting to help can find an online banner at the top of our website at srnnews.com. President Trump scheduled to deliver remarks at a conservative policy conference at the Washington Hilton this afternoon.
President Trump is expected to speak at the Faith and Freedom Coalition's 2026 policy conference. This is the country's premier pro-faith, pro-family political event for conservatives. This year's program is focused on preparing for the upcoming elections, with the agenda centered on strengthening the family, defending traditional marriage, protecting life, and cutting government spending. Also expected to speak, Texas Senator conservative Ted Cruz, South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham, and Tennessee Senator Marsha Blackburn. Laura Winters reporting.
More of these stories at townhall.com.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group. And I want to set the record straight. I am not an attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney. And the truth is, I really don't even like attorneys. If I sound like an attorney, I apologize. But what I've learned in my 15 years in the timeshare cancellation business is you don't need to be an attorney to get folks out of their timeshare. After 15 years and over 50,000 cancellations, I can tell you with confidence, we know how to get you out of your timeshare. Call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit guide absolutely free with all your options for cancellation. Attorneys, this was meant to be funny, so please don't sue me, especially my friend Kenneth from Black River Falls, Wisconsin.
Call now for your free timeshare exit info kit. 800-926-5959. That's 800-926-5959. 800-926-5959.
Freedom 250 CEO Keith Kroc says it's time for the Great American Fair on the National Mall.
All these 50 states coming together on the National Mall for the nation's 250th. You know, every state's bringing its culture, its food, its music, its innovation, its history, its heroes. It is America on display.
And also, at townhall.com, Apple hiking prices now for Macs and iPad, citing a memory chip shortage.
The Cupertino, California-based company calls the demand spike an unprecedented challenge for the consumer electronics industry. Among the increases, a new entry-level MacBook Neo will now cost $699, up from $599. And the 1 terabyte MacBook Pro is $1,999, up from $1,699. Analysts expect iPhone prices to rise later in the year. Rich Thomason reporting.
Breaking news and analysis at townhall.com. Californians will vote in November on a controversial proposal to impose a one-time tax on billionaires to help fund federal funding cuts to health care for low-income Americans. A major labor union has announced it's moving forward with the proposal despite staunch pushback from a wide swath of critics. 74-year-old man convicted of killing his wife has become the oldest person to be executed in modern-day Florida.
Dusty Ray Spencer received a lethal injection Thursday evening with the 1992 stabbing death of his wife, Karen. It was Florida's 9th execution this year. Florida corrections records dating to 1924 show the oldest inmates last executed in Florida were both 72. Another 74-year-old Florida inmate set to be executed on July 14th for a woman's killing in 1982. John Scott reporting.
You'll find more on these stories at townhall.com.
Overall, we're looking pretty good for those attending the Travelers Championship as tournament play continues through Sunday. We're dealing with some scattered showers out there that should wrap up relatively soon. Otherwise, we end the work week with muggier conditions and only a chance for an isolated late afternoon and evening storm. Now, when it comes to the final weekend of June, we're expecting mainly dry and seasonable conditions. Thereafter, next week starts bright with a warming trend that peaks as we transition into July. With at least 3 days, 90 degrees or higher for the Hartford area, we could have our second heat wave of the year on our hands. In the First Alert Forecast Center at Channel 3, I'm meteorologist Scott Haney, wishing you all a great, safe, and healthy weekend.
We're back on the radio. You see the red light over my shoulder. That means it's hot. Toggling down nice and slow. Tyler and I are getting our timing down today. We're getting everything locked down tight. So when we hit the the market, right, we're gonna take the show on the road, Peter. We might need security on the road. We might be like that one of those celebrities that hired you, that you worked with. Of course, Peter Rogers sitting in the studio. One Table Radio, WICH 1310. And guys, if you want to call in 860-889-5252. I'm told that I need to slow down sometimes. I talk too fast. So, Peter, you had quite, sort of the Providence. You talked about the Providence. You talked about coming to Connecticut and training children, young people, and just the impact and the influence in the community. We heard from Angela about that. I want to get into something about your health and obviously talking about that. Some of the greatest challenges of our lives, we're all going to face them. And you faced a really big challenge. You were talking a little bit about the discovery of, from the blood work. Talk a little bit about, and let's hear about that, Peter.
Yeah. So, I have a good doctor, and we became very good friends. And one day he says to me, you're really healthy, for your age, it's probably because you do what you do and everything. I went, yeah. Anyway, so then one day he says, but when was the last time you really had any blood work? I said, for what? He said, just general blood work for your health. I said, you just told me I'm good. He said, yeah, but we got to do blood work, just because. It's been how long? I said, okay, fine. So we went. I had blood work done. A couple of days later, he calls me back. He goes, you got to sit down. So I said, okay. He says, I think you need to go see a cancer doctor. I go, what are you talking about? He says, is there any cancer in your family? I said, well, yeah, my mother died of cancer. My father died of cancer. Other than that, no. He goes, well, that's pretty bad odds, don't you think? I went, not really. So anyway, so we go and we have a PSA test, and I go to Bacchus, and we do the blood work and everything, and he comes back again, and he says to me, yeah, he says, according to the results from the cancer doctor, you have prostate cancer. I said, okay. And so he goes, it's not so. Like this could, I go, dude, I feel fine. He goes, yeah, you feel fine today. But da-da-da. He goes, for your age, you're great. He said, but you really should look into this. I said, yeah, okay, I'll get back to you. So anyway, one thing leads to another, and you talk to that one, you talk to this, and everybody gets scared. Like, you talk to more people, the more scared you get. So I go, I feel fine. I have no symptoms other than blood work. Are you sure? So, make a long story short, they found a good doctor at Bacchus, a lady, and we hit it off very well. Very nice. And we talked about a lot of things, and she said, I think you should choose one of these three things. I'm not going to tell you what to do. Some people have the prostate taken out. Some people have chemo. Some people have radiation. There's a new thing that's coming out that maybe we could try, blah, blah, blah. I said, listen, I like you, but I'm good. But make a long story short, she kind of talked me into it between her and my doctor, and we went and I had this special uh, thing called space ore, where they inject the stuff in you to keep. It's like a big water bubble, um, and they keep when they light you up because I had radiation that it only goes to where it's supposed to. Where before it can go anywhere and actually do more damage. Again, I'm not a doctor,
So
but
isolates to the
yeah, yeah, it basically pinpoints to that area better than it did before. So she goes, you're going to be one of the few that have tried this. Yeah, sure. I'm always open for new stuff. So make a long story short, we did it. I got lit up 45 times. My son took me 95% of the time to the hospital, like at 8 o'clock in the morning for like 9 weeks. And yeah, it went, I got out of there, and basically she says to me afterwards, she goes, "You're not even a one. You're not even a," right now, as of, I did blood work a couple of months ago again, because you got to do it every year or two. This was in 2019. I'm a .045, so I'm not even a one. Anything over a 4, 5, 6 can be a problem. So I got lucky. But again, I think it's what you believe in. And I think she said to me right out, she goes, "You're going to get hit by a train before this comes back and bothers you. You are lucky." I mean, something else can go wrong, but I beat that. So, and then since then, a lot of people that I know in this area have come to me because I heard the story and they asked me my opinion. I gave them my opinion. I said, "This worked for me. Doesn't mean it's going to work for you." But I do know that A, B, and C people have a lot of problems with. So you get a good doctor. I referred them to her, and we'll see what happens.
Do you have faith?
Yes.
Did that help you at all in the process? I mean, I'm hearing your story, and I'm just wondering how much of that, what did you lean on to get you that confidence to battle?
It wasn't my time yet.
You just didn't want to believe it. You didn't want to accept it.
No, I think everybody has a number. I do believe that, but I do believe in believing in something. And I do have faith. I'm not quite sure about a lot of things, but I do know that it wasn't my time. And a person could get in a car accident, roll the car over 4 times, burn up, walk away, be fine. Go upstairs, trip up over a chair, and die. I think everybody has a number, but I do believe positive thinking and the right people around you helps. And I think I have a lot of good people around me. I really, really do. And I think it wasn't my time yet.
And so you decided right away that you were not going to let this take you down, and you knew that mindset. You just talked a little bit about positive mindset, attitude, and faith, and you combined all those things. You came out winning.
Yeah, yeah.
You won that match.
I won that one. Yeah, I got lucky. I mean, again, I think a lot of it has to do with what's meant to be is meant to be. But there's people that, anything can happen. But no, I got very lucky. I'm very thankful for the right people around me.
We're thankful too. We really are thankful that you're here still.
you.
Peter Rogers, of course, 860-889-5252. Very impactful. I mean, I've shared stories with you, Peter, but didn't know we were going to get into that depth. I mean, and I'm glad we did. And thank you for sharing it and being brave, because somebody out there listening,
Yep.
Maybe you've gone through this. Maybe you're about to go through this. Maybe you know somebody that's gone, or again, maybe going through this.
Right.
And what an inspirational story from you. You definitely stand as someone that I feel is very strong, and your will overcame. Because a lot of people, their mindset and their bodies start to deteriorate when they get this news, right? And that can play a part in it.
Yeah, I mean, theoretically, it could have went either way. I could have sat back and just let it be its thing.
Yeah.
And it could have worked out. But I know from this, I've talked to a lot of people, a lot of my friends, a lot of people that I didn't even know would call me or get a hold of me somehow. And I would tell them the truth. I go, "Listen, if you have a good doctor, listen, because you never know, because anything can happen and you can let it go. And some people, and it can affect you all of a sudden, whatever. And, yeah, you gotta have a good doctor. Or you gotta at least believe in what's going on and have a good doctor. I mean, that's what you need.
Right.
That's what I think.
And so when you obviously, this whole journey, this life, battling in the ring, battling in the training, and fighting your way through, clawing through life as we all do.
Yeah.
This was the greatest battle of your life, would you say?
I would say it was probably one of the more important ones, because let's face it, we wouldn't be sitting here if I didn't follow through with what I I woke up one day after in the middle of that. I went, okay, let's just do it. Let's just do it. I've always been at let's just do it. I've always had that mindset like, okay.
Can you take things in your mind and compartmentalize them?
Absolutely.
Because you can forget about it till it's time.
Absolutely.
That was a hard thing for me to learn. And I know you know, I've shared with you and we talked.
Yeah.
And I've observed that you have the ability to, even with people, you don't pull it out until you need it. So I that's a major, is that part of the martial arts control?
Yeah, I think so. I really, really do. Like, I've been known, like one of my fames, which I don't know, I don't even know what fames, but some people have said to me, "How do you do the stuff you do?" Like, my favorite thing growing up was breaking stuff, like bricks.
Yeah.
You know, and there's photos of me, you know, putting my hand through 2 feet of cement and a foot and a half of cement, my head through a foot of cement, and the people go, "Oh, that's fake." No, it's not. Yeah, it's not. I've done it. I can do it anytime. I've done it everywhere and anywhere. I've done demos and this and everything else. But I can only do it with my right hand because psychologically, I don't think I can do it with my left.
So you already beat.
I program my body to work that. I've never
Gotcha.
broken up. I mean, if you've seen photos,
Yeah.
you'll see my hand go right through a foot of cement, and I don't even
100%.
nothing.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
again, I think that I can do it. It's all like you have to think through things.
Mhm.
So a perfect example of that is if you do not believe you can do it, you're not going to do it.
You're gonna
Now,
fail.
my son, who's a great fighter, my son is a phenomenal fighter, a great trainer. He's got a heart of gold. He's wonderful. He goes, "There's no way in the world that I would even attempt that." Yet he's won, you know, championships and that. He goes, "You're out of your mind."
The fastest knockout.
He's,
Right?
yeah,
Fastest
he got
knockout.
fastest knockout for Bellator for 11 seconds and the fastest submission for 37 seconds for Bellator at different fights. Yeah. And he says to me, "I don't know how you," and all my guys will go, you know, "I don't get it." And some of them can do it to a point, you know, but a lot of it's got the mind
There's
over
got to be a
matter.
skill to that too. There's a skill to hitting on the right point and saying,
Yeah, you just gotta-
using the right hand.
Yeah,
and,
you just get like
strength.
you got to believe it too.
Right,
Like
right.
I aim for the floor.
For sure.
That's in the way.
Right.
That is in the way.
It's like
That is-
somebody that benches
Yeah.
powerlifting or whatever. If you train on that exercise, you're going to be able to excel at that exercise. And you took your body, mind, and soul, and you put it all together. And
Yeah,
you've been
I
big.
mean, like
How many of those competitions have you done in that phase, like the exhibition, like they're doing all those little chopping things up and breaking things into pieces, as you
So
say?
many.
Like, how many?
So many.
Have you won some of those?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Many, many times.
What's the most amount that you've done in one run?
I did. I won a tournament somewhere in Connecticut years ago. I did like a foot and a half, 2-inch patio blocks with a punch. Then I put my head through, I think, a foot of cement. And then I did a thing. Yeah, then I got photos. It's pretty cool. And then we did a thing, which one of my favorite ones is when they blindfold me.
Yeah.
And I put a cigarette or half a cigarette butt in your mouth.
Yeah.
Blindfolded, and I take it out with a jumping hook kick.
And who trusted you to do that?
They're crazy, right?
I mean, did you ever hit anybody?
Nope. Never in my life. I have missed the target. I always tell everybody, I will miss the target before I hit you.
So you just know.
Yeah.
Are you good with like distance? You just have good eyesight.
yeah,
You're a good pool player too. Were you a good pool player?
Yeah, not bad. But I'm blindfolded, so it's all
Yeah.
instinct. Now, could I do? If you said to me, "Could I do it again right now?" Probably, but there's no guarantees. I'm
Could you
not
kick
gonna-
me in the chin, standing in front of me
Oh, absolutely.
right now?
Of course.
Don't do it.
Yeah, we're sitting down.
Don't
but
do it, yeah.
No, but you know what I mean. I'm not as agile as I used to be, but
But
I'm
you can still do that.
I'm still workable. Yeah.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
Do you train any? Do you actually compete anymore at all, Peter?
No. The last thing I did was the last competition I did was in 1987. Imagine
wow.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I fought the number one guy in the world, Benny the Jet Akitas, in 1987 in the Rhode Island West Warwick Civic
Well, what do you
Center.
mean, the number one fighter in the world?
Yeah, he was. If you Google Benny the Jet, he is recognized as the number one kickboxer in the world at that time.
Okay.
He was Patrick Swayze stunt double for Roadhouse.
No kidding.
Uh-huh.
And the throat ripping out guy. You know, the when Patrick Swayze ripped the guy's. Remember
In that movie, yeah.
Yeah, the big movie. Yeah.
Yeah. But Benny, yeah, that was my last.
Did you work on any movies?
No.
Okay.
We were supposed to a couple of times, but no, it didn't happen.
Was that something you were maybe pursuing at the time because of the industry?
No.
No.
Believe it or not, no.
You just let things come to you and it
Yeah,
happens, right?
yeah,
You
yeah,
experience.
yeah.
Were you always the journey guy? Were you always like cool with that? Whatever the journey's got for me, kind of guy. Yeah, you
Kinda.
seem that way.
I mean, my favorite thing in life was cars, motorcycles, boats, and the martial arts. Yeah.
Nothing else. You don't want to admit to anything else?
I don't know.
Not live.
No.
All right. Listen, Peter Rogers, you can be found on all kinds of websites in different places, but what is all those locations? Give a little shout out.
You can go to Rogers Academy of Martial Arts. We have a school in Franklin. You can go to ASAP Fight League, which is our company, which is based out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and we promote amateur and professional fights all through New England and Florida and everywhere. Yeah.
All right, we're going to be back here in a moment, right? We're very close to the break, and when we come back, we're going to be hearing the announcement of the new ring announcer coming on board with Peter in the future, at least for a guest appearance. I want one guest appearance.
No problem.
Okay, no problem. You heard him, guys, right here on WICH 1310. This is One Table Radio. Your host, Kevin Allen, and we'll be back in a moment.
It's not just their style, the way that we smile.
Hey folks, this is Rodney at Old Times Restaurant. We have been proud to be annual sponsors and donors to the Norwich Rose Arts Festival. Please come this year and participate in this wonderful opportunity for food, fun, music, and socializing in our community.
That's why people say at Old Times Restaurant, home is just a taste away.
You bought that $15 mirror at one of those box stores. It makes you look tall and thin one day, and the next, well, you know, it's not you. It's your mirror. Should have gone to Mystic Glass. Their mirrors won't make you feel like you're in the funhouse. For broken or replacement windows, glass doors, even that crack in your storefront. Yeah, Mystic Glass can do that too. So visit them on Edgemont Street in Mystic. Mystic Glass. For all of life's little or big pains. Window panes. See what I did there?
This summer, history meets high fashion in Mystic. Mystic Museum of Art presents Lux, Connecticut, Velvet Mills to Modern Runways, a one-of-a-kind exhibition exploring Connecticut's textile history, from historic velvet mills to today's fashion designers. See stunning beadwork, quilts, embroidery, velvet fashions, and designs by Christian Siriano, Peter Somm, Zaria Lockhart, and Toriana Sorrow. On view June 26th through October 11th. Come experience the stories stitched into every thread. Learn more at mysticmuseumofart.org.
Figure anything out. Anything. And so, welcome back right here. WICH 1310. I love saying 1310. I grew up on AM radio, man. I talk about it. I'm just in awe that I'm in Stu Breyer's studio. Isn't that cool? I mean, you yourself, you all these years in the city and all the things. Stu Breyer is just such a famous, I was out at a remote with him last week at the Dairy Queen, and they were doing free ice creams because of the anniversary 80 years of the station. And just to see the people that interact with him, and he's just such a humble, good guy.
That's
kind of like you.
Yeah. Listen to me. The world, when you're good to people and you have people that respect you, that's huge.
He's from Rhode Island too. Maybe there's a thing, but the water out there.
There you go. That's it. That's the whole thing.
But sometimes it's struggle in Connecticut, right?
Yeah.
JB, what's going on down in Florida? Hope you're fishing. Just saying hi to somebody on social media. Hey, Peter, we just talked about such an incredibly wow story. Like you shared this I didn't know any of that.
Oh.
And so the listeners, again, 860-889-5252. Somebody call in and ask a question to Peter Rogers. We talked about his career in mixed martial arts training, also competing, and even the battle with cancer, which you shared that unbelievable story. Currently, you are running these fight leagues and fight league in Florida and Connecticut, or Florida, Connecticut, New England, I'd say.
Yeah.
So why are you back? All right, I'm going to ask you directly because I came into your life the same time you were getting ready to launch your first comeback after cancer.
Okay.
Is that right?
Close. Yeah.
I think, well, maybe, but sometime when you did the Mohegan event, this was like coming back from some stuff.
Right.
And so, I know you have the energy, but why? Why are you doing this? You don't need to do this. You could be riding your Sportster instead of selling it and enjoying life and doing all these things, but why?
I don't know. Like some people play golf, some people play basketball. I like the martial arts, and I like, to be honest with you, I like promoting events, which I've done forever, because it gives people a a basic grounding to start somewhere. See, everybody thinks like, oh, you watch TV and the pros, you know how many hours, you know how many years, you know how many months, you know how many basic things that they had to give up to get
Mhm.
to that point, but they have to start somewhere.
Right.
So when I was younger, there was no such thing as amateur and pro.
Mhm.
When we fought, we either got no money because nobody had any money, or we fought and made a couple of bucks, but there was no amateur and pro. Then as the years went on, different organizations and the states got involved and this, that, and everything else. And then you had an amateur division and you had a professional division. You have to have so many, whether it's be boxing or kickboxing or whatever, you had to have so many fights under you before you become a pro because you have to have experience. Otherwise, you're going to get slapped around way too fast. All right. Now, in the karate field, there was no thing as that. Like when we fought at karate tournaments, like I used to do them at Mohegan, we did a thing with them with the team and everything, and we would have 1,000 competitors in the daytime, 20 rings going at the same time, and people, guys, kids, girls, I gave out 6-foot trophies and cash prizes for the people and the whole, yeah. And that's when the martial arts and the karate field was really strong. It's not anywhere like that anymore. The tournament circuit has gone down a lot because people now, again, things are in cycles.
Mhm.
So now jujitsu, whether it's just straight jujitsu or MMA or whatever, people tend to change a little bit. But it all comes from one root. It all comes from the same place. It's just changed a little bit. Some people
Where's it come from?
Some people drive Chevys, some people drive Fords. That's my perfect analogy of that. Okay, everything comes from the basics of the human body of learning how of self-defense, of putting the hand and foot together and grappling. Wrestling is probably the oldest thing in the world from the Greco-Roman times.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And then different people in Japan and China and Korea, they put different things together and they marketed it,
Mhm.
and it became actually a art, but a business.
Mm.
It's always been a business, and now it's really become a business.
Mm.
The money that people are making now in the MMA field and the boxing field is astronomical. God bless them.
What did you think of the event? Not to get into the political side of the world, but the event at the nation's White House had a big event.
Yep.
Of course, the news trending was about that foolish and stupid comment from the fighter there. But the event in itself, wild to even imagine that could happen in America.
Well, I'll tell you what.
And then, by the way, Teddy Roosevelt did it.
Yeah.
There's been many have held boxing events.
Correct.
Andrews actually killed someone with a gun. If you want to get into history, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I mean, there's been plenty of
Yep,
let's get down
yep,
kind of things. But
yeah. But I think the event itself was a total class act. I mean, how are you going to beat that now? I mean, like the walkouts, the band, the people, whatever. Fights are fights. There's a winner, there's a loser, this, that, and everything else. Okay, but the place itself was phenomenal. Oh, did I agree on a lot of things? No, of course not. But who does? But the show itself, you couldn't ask. I don't know how you're going to beat that.
Mhm.
I don't know what unless you put the Coliseum in Rome together
No,
and start
no.
bringing that. Other than that, you're never going to get anything more classier than that. And all the referees and everybody on that event,
Mhm.
I've either worked personally with or I'm very good friends with because I used to be a referee as a judge.
So you knew some of the people at that event?
Oh, absolutely.
Did you talk to anybody, or have you said even a hello since? I mean, the experience must be wild, right?
A couple,
Yeah.
but a lot of the guys, like I said, I've personally worked with.
Yeah.
Because the first show in Rhode Island, the first legal show in the state of Rhode Island, I was hired to be the referee for this first legal MMA show in the state of Rhode Island.
Really?
Uh huh.
And who was promoting that then? Do you remember?
Yeah. CES did a thing with which I'm good friends with, and they did a thing with the state of Rhode Island. And
This is all back when Dana White was still coming up.
they were doing their things.
Do you know
too.
Dana White?
Yeah, not personally, but I know a lot of him. I know
You guys, you crossed the paths.
Yeah, I mean,
He was a Boston boxer, right? Originally.
yeah, he owned a boxing gym. And he lived in Boston and a whole bit, and then he wanted to get out of Boston. And his two friends, he called his two college buddies up, and he went to Vegas, and the rest is history.
Yeah, amazing. I mean, a beautiful
God-
mind. He's got a
God
great
bless-
mind.
God bless him. You know what I mean?
Yeah. From a promoter standpoint, do you think he's doing justice to the industry? Loaded question.
Very. Yes and no.
But what
Like
do you think of the weather outside?
I think it's going to rain. Listen, here's the deal. Okay, who am I to speak on any? Who am I to judge anyone in any way, shape, or form? I got to worry about, and I got to take care of the people around me, and I can only control what I'm doing. Do I think that the martial arts, and I think that they built it huge? Yes, absolutely. Do I think there's other people that have built it? Yes, like the bare knuckle shows. Yes, absolutely. It's been around from the beginning of time. The Colosseum, the Romans. Yes.
Where's enough? I mean, the slapping, the face slapping, the fighting in the booths. I
That
mean,
doesn't fade.
these are all gaffy, like WWE wrestling stuff.
Okay, so the slapping doesn't do a thing for me whatsoever. I mean, you could give me a free ticket.
It's kind of stupid, right? I mean, it just doesn't make any sense.
I don't know. Whatever works for them, but I'm not interested in it.
It's like a lazy sport to me.
I'm not interested in it.
You know, maybe you could smack me down, but it's a lazy man sport.
It doesn't do a thing.
It's
for
not
me.
a sport. It's stupid.
Um,
Although Dana White invested into it.
Money comes to money.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I guess he saw something. I mean, he's a bright, brilliant guy and successful. So, would you like to be competitive in the sport and promoting stage of like New England or beyond?
Well, we really are. Right now, we really are. Actually, ASAP Fight League, which is my partner in my company, and my son's involved in it too, is based out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And we've done shows in Fort Lauderdale, Miami, and Orlando, and different places. ASAP Fight League basically stands for Amateur Sport and Professional Fight League. I put on many shows at Mohegan. We really on a roll now, back in Rhode Island, putting on shows. This venue that we have is like a mansion. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's called the Rhodes on the Patuxent. It's in Cranston, Rhode Island, and it is absolutely gorgeous. The people are great to work with. We've done like 5 shows already there. We probably have 5 more booked for the upcoming months and years. And yeah, what we're doing, we're building a foundation. We're basically giving people groundwork for them to get their amateur careers in. We do grappling, we do super fights, we do amateur MMA, and we do amateur kickboxing, Thai boxing, whatever. I could promote pro shows, but right now I'm not into that. Right now, I want to build an amateur game. I want to build a team of it, and it's working really, really well.
This is your vision. Are you finally seeing the vision you had at this point in your life?
We jump started it again.
You did.
Yeah, I stopped for a while. I don't know if it was from worrying about this, that, and everything else, the cancer and everything. But yeah,
And COVID locked us all down too.
yeah, that was hard to do. I mean, I used to work for Bellator and IFL and all as a judge and a referee for everyone. And I remember sitting in Mohegan and we had to wear masks during the fights.
That's when Cantone brought all that back in there and they were fighting right in there. Yeah.
And the whole thing was crazy. I mean, like, and the mask thing was crazy. But whatever. We won't even get into that. That could be a whole different.
Yeah, that's another topic for another
a whole
time.
different field.
But during that time, you got active again and started getting into the fight game again in some aspect of judging or whatever, right?
Yeah. Well, so then what happened was once my son started competing on a professional level, I had to back away. Like I refereed in Panama City, Panama. They flew me out there for the World Championships. I was the head referee for that. I've worked for Bellator in Albuquerque, in Arizona, all throughout everywhere. Many shows at Mohegan. But
what happened to them?
They got bought out. But Bellator.
Is that done? Is it done? They shelved the brand.
Yeah, but Scott Coker's coming back with something bigger and better. I think the problem is people can't get out of. I'm a perfect example. They can't get out. What are they going to do? I mean, they're so good at something, then they get bought out or they go, I don't want to do this anymore. And then all of a sudden you call me up and you go, we should really do this. I go, I don't really want to. Then he calls me up and we go, anyway, okay, let's figure it out. And that's how it grows again.
Right. Right.
So I couldn't referee anymore and I couldn't judge anymore because of my relationship. And I can't, because my son can't fight on my shows.
Yep.
Because even if he wins, they're going to say, "Oh, it's rigged," so we can't do it.
Right.
And we're waiting on a big opportunity for him, and it's coming.
Big announcement coming.
Yeah, it's coming, but we can't say anything yet because nothing's locked in yet.
One thing I will say, you and I identify a lot more minded in this way that we're promoters, you and I.
Yeah.
And we like to anything. We'll climb any hill and we'll try it once. Your son is so practical, so disciplined, so even keeled. He seems so, kind of like steady. Was that easy to watch him fight when you were a parent, as even though you've been in the business, it's your son now getting kicked and punched or whatever? How was that?
His mother was the problem, not me.
Okay.
His first pro thing, he got hurt.
Yep.
And he got beat, and he caught 4 or 5 elbows straight down into the eye and broke his orbital.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and so it turns around and we're in the ambulance with him and we're taking him away and he goes, Jesus, I thought I go, you good? He goes, yeah, I'll be fine. I'm busted up a little bit. So we get to the emergency room, we get to the hospital. I figure his mother's going to have like 14 coronaries and 4 birds, right? So she walks in the door, she looks at me, she goes, nice. I said, yeah, well, it kind of goes with the thing. She goes, no, okay. So then she says to him, so tell me what we're going to do about this now. And he goes, I'm going to heal up and Dad's going to get me ready. We're going to do it again. And she just looked at me and shook her head. She goes, you two are too much alike, and walked out of the room.
That was it.
That was it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, moms are going to be
moms.
moms. Yeah,
Moms are
moms.
moms.
Yeah, moms are going to be. And so dad, but he always identified and probably looked up to you in some, that aspect of stuff. So what a cool. Well, you tell me, how cool is it to have your son at your side in your love of your industry?
It's wonderful. It really is. I mean, he's so good as a teacher. Like we run the place, but I let him do most of it because this is him now. He's got 2 children. He's got my granddaughter. She's going to be 3.5. My grandson now is going to be. He just turned 9 months, so he has a family. He has a career, and I'm there with him for support, and I'm there with him to help him. And we have a bunch of the other guys, my old students that are there to help out, that have been with me forever. And the gyms, we have a good gym. Everybody's really good. They're talented. The kids are great. We push them, but we don't break them, and they have fun. But yeah, they do a good job, and he does a great job. And yeah, so we're going to start promoting again. And then I have a bunch of other stuff that we're working on too, but we're not ready to say it yet.
Not talking about that yet.
Because you can, in case it doesn't
Okay.
happen.
I didn't see a rider when I booked you for this. I didn't see any what I can ask and can't ask.
No,
so
you can. Yeah, it's
I
fine.
can ask anything. You just say no if you don't want to answer. Okay.
Yep. No.
All right. So Peter Rogers, again, sharing his life story with us right here on WICH 1310. This is One Table Radio. And we do come to you each and every week, guys. If you want to call in, we got a few minutes left, maybe 860-889-5252. Love to have someone call in, ask Peter a question, or make a statement. You want to make a public statement right here on WICH? You got the floor, guys, as long as it's legal and no swears, okay? And so when we talked about like local, the 2 casinos, major impact on the area, would you not say?
Yes.
And in some people's eyes, they often, I hear the locals go to the negative, and I personally feel like it's been one of the greatest lights shined on our area and the opportunities, not just for work, but look at what we're, because that's important, right? Foremost. But do you look at the ability for us to bring celebrity events into this area? Pretty amazing. You've been a part of how much security at Mohegan Sun?
The day of 9/11, I had a phone call from one of my friends from the tribe. The day of 9/11, literally called me up and said, "Can you be here tomorrow?" I went, "Okay." So I go down there. We had a meeting, and they said, "We'd like you to teach all our security staff." And I went, "Okay." So we turn around, we come up with a battle plan, and we do all the paperwork and everything. And then within a couple of days, they decided that that wasn't going to work because they were afraid that the people that were working there would either be, like too aggressive or too old, or they might hurt themselves, or it was a thing. So I said, okay, well, it was a great idea. That won't work. They said, well, why don't you come to work for us? So they gave me a full-time job. I work Monday through Friday, days, which is rare. And then I get to teach, because Eagleview, their fitness center, I get to teach kickboxing there for 15 years.
And you got paid?
Yeah. So I got paid, and we ended up growing, and I always had a school. And then when I got a little bit like burnt out with it, whatever, my son took over, and he did it for 5, 6, 7 years. And that only stopped just before COVID, I think.
Wow.
And they used to have, 15,000 employees.
Yeah. So you kind of, you know what? I don't want to say fall into things, because you're in places because you're respected and you're appreciative. And so you kind of got that opportunity. And what an amazing part. Your story to me seems like it's the all-American guy story, man. Is there anything you want to, like, we're going to be wrapping up here, anything you want to share about that all-American story. And we're going to have you back again, Peter. But
Yeah, well, I started writing a book.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but I got to be careful how we do this because I got to, it's going to have to be like I'm going to have to change the names to protect the innocent. But yeah, it's a true story from beginning to end, and like it's really crazy.
Well, the real crazy part is that there's so many great people. Everyone has a story, right?
Yep.
I always say that, every interview I ever do, everyone has a story to share. And you sharing your story today on One Table has been amazing. I think we have more to talk about with you. I wanted you to come back as a guest host, as any event you have, and maybe bring some fighters in with you, maybe some young fighters, some people like that. We'll work it out with Tyler, the producer here. But I want to thank you for sharing your story today.
I appreciate it.
Again, tell everyone where they can find you, Peter, in the world.
Well, basically, Rogers Karate and Martial Arts, Rogers Martial Arts Academy. You can 860-917-5937. You can give us a call, or asapfightleague.com, ASAP Fight League on Instagram or Facebook, whatever. Yeah, and we love what we do. That's the best thing I can tell you. We love what we. And when I don't love it anymore, I'll go do something else. I'll go
There
play
it is.
golf.
He loves what he does. The family loves what they do. And we love what we do right here at WICH 1310. This is One Table Radio. We'll see you next week, 12 to 2 p.m. each and every Friday.
Thank you.
Thank you, Peter.
If your business isn't getting noticed, ProCop Sign Company can change that. Family owned since 1964, ProCop has over 60 years of experience helping local businesses stand out. From eye-catching signs and banners to trade show displays and branded tents, they do it all. Want advertising that never stops? Their custom vehicle lettering and wraps turn your ride into a mobile billboard. Plus, ProCop offers promotional products and printed materials like business cards, brochures, and more to keep your brand looking sharp. Check them out at procopsigns.com.
On Friday, July 3rd at 6:30 p.m., come to the Cathedral of St. Patrick in Norwich for a free patriotic sing-along concert featuring St. Patrick Cathedral music director and organist Michael Stephen Lianos. Michael will be playing numerous classics on the majestic St. Patrick's Aeolian Skinner organ, featuring My Country 'Tis of Thee, the Navy Hymn, Battle Hymn of the Republic, our national anthem, and other classic American songs. Traditional American composers will be showcased featuring Aaron Copland, John Philip Sousa, Dudley Buck, and Connecticut's own Charles Ives. This free concert lasts exactly 1 hour. Consider making this a family tradition. It's a great way to teach your children some of our country's most beloved songs. All are welcome to come and experience the grandeur of the cathedral and hear one of the premier organs in all of New England. Don't miss this free concert on Friday, July 3rd at 6:30 p.m. All are welcome.
4th of July is almost here. Johnson's Hardware Rental and Repair has a great selection of grills from Weber and Broil King in stock. Whether you're looking for propane, charcoal, or need a smoker, Johnson's has you covered. Get a free 20-pound propane fill, assembly, and delivery with your purchase of a grill over $300 at Johnson's Hardware. They'll even take your old grill away. Johnson's carries a wide selection of grilling accessories at great prices. You'll never know what you'll go home with. From pizza stones to sauces and rubs, Johnson's Hardware has what you need. Be ready for the summer heat. Check out Johnson's large assortment of fans. From box fans to window fans, you'll find the right one at a great price to suit your needs. They also have low prices on 5,000 BTU window air conditioners. Don't see the style you need? Johnson's can order one for you. Visit Johnson's Hardware Rental and Repair at 40 Fort Hill Road in Groton, or visit them online at johnsonsrental.com. If you don't start there, you'll end there.
It's a treasure hunter's paradise at Patchogue Picker. Patchogue Picker in Griswold is a haven for lovers of all things vintage, antique, retro, and rusty. You could spend hours browsing thousands upon thousands of items at Patchogue Picker inside and out. Housewares, signs, tools, antique glass, oddities, and just downright cool junk. Come in to buy or to sell because Patchogue Picker buys vintage and estate items too. Even ask about cleanouts. The Patchogue Picker on Route 138 in Griswold, or check out Patchogue Picker on Facebook for more info.
Welcome back. Here we are, wrapping up this week's episode, I guess, if you want to call it episode, this show right here. One of the problems, guys, is, I'm a podcaster. I think that's how I came into this talking on the microphone, is no thinking it was. And so I'm just so conditioned to do this like a podcast that the evolution of this one table radio show, I can do the talk, right? But now it's to do the talk and the walk. And, really honestly, the great part about what I get to do now is that I get to actually talk behind a microphone, interview amazing guests like we did today. And Tyler has just jumped into the seat over there. I just want to say thank you, Tyler. Turn your headset and your mic on. We're going to wrap up here. Of course, I think you're going to tell me we've got about 2 minutes left before we go off the air.
Yeah, we actually have about 4 minutes.
4 minutes. Me and you can recap. We can just go back and forth, little back and forth. So, Tyler, as you are producing this show and also managing many things that are going on in our lives, we have a lot going on. But this radio show, you know how passionate I am about it. I love what I'm doing right here. It doesn't matter. There's no numbers and all that. It's about just doing. But what's your thoughts so far? This new format.
I really like the way this new setup. I think it'll help be more efficient, and I don't know. I enjoy anything new to do and exciting, and I think radio is so cool. I think it's something that's definitely on its way to come back. And especially its connection to, I just brought this up earlier, is the Stranger Things. It's like, that was a look into a world that seemed almost ancient, and now to be sitting here operating a switchboard and working on radio is just it's wild.
It's pretty amazing, right? And so you know what, it's a blessing, right? And so I will say, just kind of wrapping up my thoughts, my thoughts of the day were, what an amazing interview with Peter Rogers. Just a great story, great guy, by the way. I'm a huge fan of his, and I think we've developed a pretty good relationship. And in the sense of just the MMA training and all that, that's exciting. But to hear the comeback story, right? The comeback story from that battle with cancer, and to have such a positive attitude. I hope people listen to that interview and listen and understand how impactful that is. That your attitude is everything in life. And, I resonate with that. And I think one of the things that resonates with me is, there's many days that I talk mental health a lot, and I publicly speak about it. There's days that, sometimes you just want to give up. You want to quit. And it's about how you got to stay in the game and fight. You can't quit. There's more at stake than just what you want either. If you really truly have that relationship in the world that we all talk about, you love someone like a child, or maybe your relationship with your family members or your friends, or maybe you love your job so much, or whatever it is, you got to find a reason. I think Peter found that reason. That clearly was what resonated with in the interview today. And hearing his stories about all the celebrities and all the old time stuff, we could talk for years and years about that. I mean, I love nostalgic things. Tyler, we talked earlier about that. And you said about the radio, comparing that, as you just brought up. I do believe, and I agree with you, radio is on the comeback. And I do believe that so aren't outside festivals like the Rose Arts festivals. I'm not just saying it. I feel like we just talked about it. People are coming back together. We're tired of all the nonsense that we lived through the science project. It's time to bring us back and socialize.
Yeah, I feel like the divide is real, and people feel it, and people don't want to be divided. We don't want to be fighting and hating each other.
Mm-hmm.
It's not natural, and I think it is being pushed on us very much from outside sources. And I think people are starting to see through that. And like you said, the comeback is real.
The comeback is real, and we're going to keep coming back each and every week. So, guys, listen. If you have a story out there, if you have a message you want to share, if you have a community event, a nonprofit, maybe you have a project, maybe you just want to come on and tell. I think everyone has a story to share. And so reach out to us directly. Of course, where can you find us at, Tyler? Where's that location they can find us at?
You can find us on One Table Radio across all platforms. You can download our podcast the next day. I will upload it into anywhere you can find podcasts. RSS is One Table Radio. Like I said, the live radio show is on our Facebook every week, and you can download it the next day anywhere podcasts are found.
There it is. So you check us out over there. Of course, we'll be keeping you updated. And we're winding down this week's show. Next week's show, I don't exactly know. We are working on to get some folks that handle tourism in Connecticut. We're working with reaching out to them, as well as Rachel Lenda. You might know the name, former singer, front gal for Red Light, and of course the Subner family from up there in the great hills of Griswold, Connecticut, where I formerly lived. But we're going to get Rachel on. She handles so much in the aspect of tourism and also economic development. They all tie hand in hand. And talking with Peter earlier just about like the different events, and he's going to Rhode Island. We got to find a location, guys, out there. Talking with Peter, if we need to have an outside venue location that's got like an overhang, something that you could use through some of the, it's not so mild weather into the, fall. But something we could do some outside events and see that. Maybe one of the casinos. Maybe they should build a community event. Maybe there's a great, we'll put our heads together and see if we can make that happen. But I do think the most important message of the day is hope. And that's what I got from this conversation with Peter Rogers today, was that you can beat something. You can beat you can win a battle if you hope but you believe in something. You have that hope in your heart that you're not going to quit. And you're not going to let this beat you. And so I have that each and every week. Tyler, what do we have left for time?
When does it auto start?
Yeah,
When?
already did.
When?
Did it? He's talking to me now. I don't know. Should I keep talking?
What time does it auto start?
It should be 2 minutes out. So.
Oh, okay. Then we have 7 minutes.
7 minutes?
It is 1:51.
Wow. I thought so. You know what? We had a great send off. Let's redo this send off again. Peter, we're going to be. No, I'm just kidding with you. Listen, I'll talk for the 7 minutes we have left. We actually have 7 minutes, or we actually have 5 minutes. I think it's 5, right? Yeah. So, anyways, we won't have dead air. You know what? Can you give me that newspaper over there, right there, please? I wanted to talk about a couple topics. I was listening to another station. I don't want to talk about it too much here, but I was listening to a friend. Actually, I shouldn't say station. And on the interview they were doing, or the conversation they were having, they were talking about these mini bikes and these scooters, really, the scooters, Tyler. Yeah. Now, have you noticed an uptick in the scooters around communities in southeastern Connecticut?
Yeah, the scooters are everywhere. And it's like they drive with packs. That's almost like instead of motorcycle gangs, we got scooter gangs.
What is that about?
I'm not sure. I've never been a scooter. A scooty. I'm not.
You never had a scooter.
Yeah, no. I never did. I thought about it a lot.
You look like a scooter guy to me. I'm not trying to. I know that's terrible to do. It's probably very unprofessional of me. But you look like a guy that could ride a scooter.
Yeah. I mean, you don't, so that makes sense.
Well, this is true. I don't look at. See, he's quick-witted, isn't he, guys? I got to tell you, hurt my feelings earlier. The scooters are under a lot of scrutiny right now. Accident in New London, Connecticut. Did you see the video online last week? There was an accident.
I did not see the video.
So the guy's coming down, right? And you see the car coming across, and you see the red light, and the guy just goes right through the stop sign, rather. Guy drives right through, gets flown off the thing in the air, and it just happened in New London. So the conversation that I'm talking about was just a lot of these, you can't chase anybody in Connecticut from a legal standpoint. And what I want to say is this, I'm not here to get into the political side. I just fear for the young kids, man. They're not being taught the right lessons of how to do this. I think if they all were doing it respectfully, and I think it's great. No one can afford cars today, guys. I mean, no one can afford travel and transport. So this is a means of transportation. So I hate to see it be ruined. So I don't know what the answer is, but I hope somebody gets together, because I can see, as a former politician, they're going to ban these things in Connecticut. I know it's going to happen. Or they're going to require you to get a license and then whatever and insure them or whatever. And then people are just not going to do it anymore. Yeah. So people are back on the bus.
Exactly. And the price goes back to being basically the price of a car,
Well, it's interesting because also in Connecticut, they got a lot of the entertainment outside venues and all these different fairs and different parks and everything are going on. New London itself, the fireworks in a couple weeks, right? And I'm just worried about I actually had this vision that all these scooter gangs are going to be driving around the city of New London, and it could be dangerous out there. So be careful in the city when you're driving around.
Well,
And I'm not, by the way, not picking on cities, but it's more prevalent in those, kind of communities as more so than the rural communities where they ride horses.
Well, it's not just scooters, though. I think drivers in general have kind of gotten reckless, even as a pedestrian.
You're right. You're right.
I look at people's turn signals, and I don't think a lot of vehicles realize that pedestrians need the turn signals too. If I go to cross a street, I need to know if you're turning down my street.
Mm-hmm.
If I start crossing the road and you go to turn into me and you don't have the turn signal on, I'm gonna be quite upset, and I'm gonna be yelling at you because why aren't you using your turn signal?
The best situation is you are yelling; they don't get hurt from that situation. A lot of drivers today. That's the one thing, and I think hearing from Peter and when he was talking about the discipline and things, I think those are the things that kids need. That kind of sense of focus and discipline, and they don't lack it because of the phone. I mean, the phone has taken everyone's eye, including our own eye. Right? We've also kind of stopped focusing on things. I feel like this summer is going to be a good summer, Tyler. I feel like there's going to be a lot of outside events. I don't want to leave this show with any negative, sort of feeling, but I do worry about the younger generation getting hurt by not being taught the right way, personally.
I don't. I think a lot of generations, when there's a lack of
Is the old man in me talking, you think?
Yeah,
right
I
there?
think so. I think when the upper generations don't support the younger generations, we figure it out.
Yeah.
I feel like I had to learn a lot of things on my own. I feel like my parents had to learn a lot of things on their own.
For sure.
There's been a lot of absent generations, and I think people adapt. I think the big thing now is the electric bikes, and the accessibility of these devices to the younger generations, or parents thinking it's a convenient or safer method of travel, and unfortunately, this unrestricted access to young adults, especially, has made a rise. And then them going as a group, of course, does not help either, because you start feeding that mentality of them challenging one another to go to the next step. This one could go faster than that one, or I'm gonna stand on my seat, or I'm gonna blow my horn. Or just the other day at the coffee shop, we had this one gentleman. He drove by us 4, 5, 6 times, blaring his radio, and it was just to make a statement. He was stopping to shout hey to every guy he's seen, any other person on a moped. He would be behind them 2 minutes later. It's become more of a cultural calling card to some of these younger people, and I guess it's a way for them to get together. It's just I hope that they can observe the same safety and do it in a way that doesn't harm other people or put other people at risk.
Mm-hmm. So I think when you talk about the just the next generation, I do think I agree with you, Tyler, as we get ready to part ways on this One Table Radio Show, WICH 1310, that the younger generation is going to figure it out. I agree with you. We all figured it out. Every generation complains, oh, I walked uphill both ways barefoot and blah, blah, blah. This is what Peter said to me when I first met him. And then, look, we figured it out. Our generation did it. Your generation's going to do it. And we're all going to be okay, right? We're all going to be okay. A lot of the hysteria out there in the world, guys, comes from that little box, that little thing you hold in your hand, or the TV you watch at night, and the channel, the news channel you watch. Turn off the news, go outside, play some Frisbee, go fishing, maybe do something outside of, normal today, and turn off all the noise.
Talk to somebody, ask questions, be curious.
You want to role play? Hi, what's your name?
I am the Great Gambino.
Great Gambino?
Gambino, yes.
What does that mean?
It's none of your business.
There you go. Right. See, there you go. That's how the generation talks to us these days. But I still love you. Don't worry about it. Another upcoming event or show. I did ask Stu Breyer to come on as an interview here. I don't know if we're going to be able to score the Stu Breyer interview or not. But I would love. I'm going to throw it out there in the air that I would love to have that opportunity. So, I don't know. You're pressing buttons. You're making me nervous. What do you got going on? So you have any thoughts on the upcoming shows that we have planned since it's 1:59 and we're off the air?
No
No?
no
Okay.
thoughts. I am excited to keep working this panel and see where things go.
All right, buddy. Right there. Here you go. Everyone knows the next show that's coming up is going to be part of the syndicated radio shows that come here on WICH 1310. This has been a great week. Peter Rogers again. What a great interview with him. Angela Adams as well, of course, with the events and all those great things coming up. The fireworks in less than a week away in the city of Norwich. Make sure you check that out. And make sure you're checking out One Table Radio as we do this each and every Friday right here from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. See you next week. I got so many people sent me that greatest delivery.
$13.10 WICH Norwich and 94.5 W233DB Norwich. WICH Norwich.